Welcome to the Haverhill Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's going on in our city. I'm Lindsay Paris, and this week we're getting ready for the Dr. Martin Luther King Community Musical Celebration that's having its 25th anniversary this year, and learning about what may be Haverhill's most infamous export. But first, Ski Bradford opened last week for its 67th season, and a familiar sight on the slopes is the red-jacketed ski patrollers who keep skiers safe. At Bradford and other slopes, a rigorous training program is required to achieve the status of National Ski Patroller, and the Journal shadowed some first-year patrollers to see what it takes.
Hi Julie, I'm Alan. I'm with the Ski Patrol. Where's your hurt?
I'm a new patroller with the Friday night patrol, and I'm learning the ropes. I'm very excited to be a patroller. I've been wanting to do this for years, so finally got around to doing it. A lot to learn.
Well, on Ski Patrol, I've been here this is my 25th year. We are an all-volunteer ski patrol. I have about 95 members right now on Ski Patrol. We're all part of the National Ski Patrol system. In order to become a National Ski Patroller, they need to complete the Outdoor Emergency Care Program, which is basically a 120-hour advanced first aid, first responder course. In addition to that, they have to undergo lift evacuation trainings, CPR courses, ski enhancement training, toboggan training, where you learn how to pull a sled down a hill with injured people, as well as carrying it up the chairlifts. A lot of training goes involved. Probably the first year, all you do is do training. Then you're mentored for a season after that, where you partner up with a seasoned patroller.
We open the lifts, and we close the lifts. We sweep the lifts and make sure there's no debris so no one hits anything. I haven't had any incidents yet, just shadowing experienced patrollers. And,
a lot of times there'll be multiple injuries, so we want to make sure we don't miss anything.
We do a lot of training before the season starts. We also do on-the-hill training once the season is underway. So a couple times a season we do what we call on-hill scenarios. So we're going to show you how a typical one will work. So Julia, if you can just take off one ski, leave one ski on. So when you're going to pretend that this knee hurts a lot, okay? So we've called for a patroller to come down and check out the report of an injured skier. We always have somebody stationed at the top so that we can do a quick response, and we have somebody always at the bottom in the first aid room. Hey there, what happened? It's okay if I take a look? Okay. You here with a parent?
A lot of times there'll be multiple injuries, so we want to make sure we don't miss anything. So he's checking, even though she hasn't complained of any other injuries, we want to check to make sure there's nothing else going on.
I'm going to give you a free ride down, okay? Won't cost you a cent. This is Alan. I'm on the Stinger skier's lift. I have a young skier who's down, a hurt knee on the toboggan, and an extra patroller.
For skiers, a knee is a pretty common injury. For snowboarders, it tends to be shoulders and wrists mostly. So you can see from the mock scenario that we practice a lot together to work as a team. Each person on the team has a role to play, and the first person on the scene is the one who directs the rest of the team and tells them what needs to be done.
Like I said, I have about 95 patrollers right now. The good thing is they all work well as a team. That's probably the main thing we stress here is teamwork, and we know how each one's going to act in an emergency. It's a small area, but we have a lot of people. In the afternoons, we have close to 1,000 kids here every afternoon. The school program's running in the height of the season, and injuries can happen, so we need to be ready at all times.
The OEC course takes about 6 months, 7 months. You don't really pass unless you demonstrate exactly what you need to do in any kind of incident, and you got to know your stuff.
A lot of hours are logged there by the Bradford team, providing those life-saving services. If you're interested in training to become a ski patroller, contact Dennis Galvin at dwgalvin@bradfordskipatrol.org. Haverhill has had many famous exports over the years, including musicians, poets, authors, and, of course, shoes. But one of the most famous, yet most dubious matters accredited to Haverhill is the world-renowned Haverhill fever, found in medical texts all over the world. What is Haverhill fever? Watch and find out. Haverhill fever. Yes, Haverhill has its very own namesake illness, known all around the world. Here in its hometown, we had a few questions. Haverhill fever is actually a variant of rat bite fever, caused by the bacteria Streptobacillus moniliformis, found in the normal respiratory flora of rodents. The term rat bite fever is typically used for an infection contracted by a rat bite or scratch, while Haverhill fever specifically refers to an infection caused by the ingestion of food or drink that has been contaminated by rats. Symptoms of Haverhill fever include joint swelling and pain, fever, nausea, severe headaches, and rash. However, it is easily cured with antibiotics, and recorded deaths are extremely rare. It all began 90 years ago this month in January 1926, when Haverhill Dr. Carl Mindlin, whose practice was located here on Washington Street in Courier Square, saw an influx of patients all suffering the same symptoms: swollen joints, fever, and nausea. This new disease was not contagious like the flu. It was, however, contained to one neighborhood in Haverhill, a rough triangle boundaried by River Street to the south, Washington Street to the north, and Beach Street on its western edge. So that meant environmental factors were likely at play. A set of questions was administered to the 78 victims, and at the end, it was clear that they all had one thing in common. They were all consuming milk. Back in 1926, milk was delivered to your doorstep by the friendly neighborhood milkman, supplied from one of the city's small dairies. Pasteurization? What's that? Unpasteurized milk was then assumed to be the cause of the illness. The Washington Street milk supplier was asked to begin pasteurization, and within days, no new cases of the mystery disease were being reported. In the multiple medical texts published later, the illness was identified as Haverhill fever, forever cementing that name in history. Although it is kind of a disturbing story, good things came out of the outbreak, like improved cleanliness standards that have practically obliterated our namesake illness and made the world a healthier place. Haverhill fever is an extremely rare condition, probably because modern cleanliness standards mean you don't let rats near your food. But it's an interesting little story, and it's been known to make a good trivia question. For 25 years, the community has been lifting its heart and song to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day at the Interfaith service presented by Temple Emmanuel in partnership with Calvary Baptist Church, officiated by members of the Greater Haverhill Clergy Association. Rabbi Ira Corenow spoke with the Journal to give us a preview of the evening.
Shalom, 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 bless us with peace. Shalom, shalom, Alechem, shalom, shalom, Alechem, bless us with peace. Shalom, shalom.
The Martin Luther King service, which is an annual event here at Temple Emmanuel, began 30 years ago. And I had met Reverend Gregory Thomas, now of blessed memory, at his office downtown Boston, and we talked about the possibility of doing something together to mark the birthday of Martin Luther King. The joint choir, which is made up of the Calvary Baptist Church Sanctuary Choir, along with the Temple Emmanuel Volunteer Choir, along with many other voices, have been preparing extensively over the past few months. And I've been told that it is just going to be an incredible, incredible evening. Very prominent rabbis marched side by side with Martin Luther King on the march from Selma to Montgomery. Just this past summer, another march took place from Selma to Washington, D.C., and several hundred rabbis participated, along with carrying a Torah scroll all the way from Alabama to Washington, D.C. There will be a musical tribute to Reverend Gregory Thomas, who passed away within the past year. And I had the opportunity to speak at one of these tributes for Reverend Thomas, but this is going to be an opportunity again to remember him. In addition, I understand they're going to do a musical tribute as well to my wife, Gail Corino, who passed away just 2 months ago. And she was the Rebbitzin of the community. Rebbitzin is the Yiddish term for the rabbi's wife, and traditionally the rabbi's wife has always had a very special role in the community. The service this year is this Friday evening, January the 15th, beginning at 7:30 p.m. That's a half hour later than it began last year. 7:30 p.m. here at Temple Emmanuel, 514 Main Street, here in Haverhill, right on Route 125. And everyone is invited. Of course, it will be broadcast live on Haverhill Community TV. So if you cannot make it to the temple for any reason, you can certainly tune in on Channel 22 to watch the service live. If you know others that would be interested anywhere around the world, they can tune in to haverhillcommunitytv.org. We look forward to welcoming everyone in the community who wishes to come. It is going to be truly an extravaganza, a true celebration of freedom, faith, and inspiration. We look forward to seeing all of you then.
Join in this evening of music, faith, and fellowship at Temple Emmanuel on Friday, January 15th. Or, if you can't be there, watch the Interfaith service live here on Channel 22 and streaming over the internet at haverhillcommunitytv.org beginning at 7:30 p.m. Still got that Christmas tree hanging around, all the needles falling off and messing up your floors? Haul it out with your trash, because it's not too late. Haverhill trash collectors will pick up discarded Christmas trees on your normal garbage pickup day throughout the month of January. So enjoy that tree until your Haverhill Christmas fever has petered out, and then kick it to the curb. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@haverhillcommunitytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our YouTube channel, HCTV Haverhill. And that's what's happening in Haverhill the week of January 14th. I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll see you next time.